Hello VC, Si here with another video. I went into a local charity shop fairly recently and come across a load of CDs which I've never seen or owned before. It was stuff completely down my street, alternative and indie rock stuff, and some records as well. So I thought I'll show the CDs and the vinyl. So bit of a mixed bag, as it always is in charity shops. Picked up the Invisible Invasion by the Coral. Just came out in 2006. Never seen this before, never owned it before. So I think I have an older Coral album which I own, but that'll be the second one I have now. And a few blind buys, a few things which I thought, oh, that looks interesting. Picked up the best of Immaculate Falls. I don't know too much about this. I thought if it's a compilation, maybe it's something I can get into, if it's something I like, being that it's got their hits on here, I'm guessing. So yeah, the best of Immaculate Falls. I think Immaculate Falls was a hit of theirs. And also, yeah, I think that's about it. I don't know about anything else. So yeah. Another one. The Stranglers, La Folie. So I've never seen this before. I thought, oh, Stranglers, that should be good. So I picked this up. I think these were about £1, or some of them maybe 50p, some are £1. A nice copy of Elvis Costello, this year's model. I thought this was quite a nice little find, this one. A more modern sort of take, or I should say more modern reissue. Certainly is, when you move away from the plastic jewel cases into proper card sleeves. Much more recent reissue on CD. So yeah, I think there's a year on the back, 2007, when this was reissued. Obviously it's a much older album. I think it was 79 this came out, I think. Moving on, an Echo Belly album. I've only got the compilation of Echo Belly, so it was nice to see an actual album for once and out in the wild, and that's Lustra. And this came out in 1997. This too was £1, so hey ho. An NXS album. This is a remastered copy. Petrol Electric. I don't think I've got anything on NXS. I may have a comp somewhere, but it's nice to find an actual album I can sort of, sink my teeth into and give time to and give it a listen. I find albums, a lot more engaging than, compilations sometimes, You get an actual piece of the actual artist's artwork, in its entirety with an album. A Manson album I don't own. I think I've got one or two of theirs in my collection. But this is one I didn't have, and that is 6. And this came out in 1998, so yeah, a 90s Manson album, and includes a Legacy and Being a Girl. So I don't remember those songs. I know they had a few string of hits in the 90s, but if I heard it I might recognise it, but off the bat I don't remember. But hey ho. Sisters of Mercy. I do have a Sisters of Mercy album, a later 90s one. This came out in 1985, this particular album, and that is First and Last and Always. So, yeah, a little bit of a rare 80s album, maybe. So, yeah, I gave it a listen. It's a bit dark, but it's alright. I quite enjoyed it. This too was £1, which I thought, that's a pretty nice find for £1. An REM comp, quite common, and I've never owned it. I don't know how I've never owned it. This is the best of REM. Early 90s release this was. I think there are better comps. I think the best of REM came out later than this, is probably a better comp, because you get more of the 90s on that. This is very early 90s what it stops at. So you've got a lot of these sort of 80s and early 90s up to 91 on here. And there's a good 16 tracks on here. So a lot of them from their sort of earlier repertoire. Pretenders, and yeah, this one is packed. I don't think I've ever seen this out in the wild. I've seen a few Pretenders albums, but never this one. This came out in 1990. I couldn't tell you the hits necessarily. Looking at the back, I wouldn't really know the hits off this album. But I'm glad to pick it up. You know, I like alternative music, so glad to have it to add to my Pretenders collection, which I don't think I got too much of. A bit of a blind buy, this one. Camouflage. I've never heard of them, but when I saw the singles, I thought, oh, good comp. Maybe, yeah, that's a good place to start. You know, I can actually hear their hits, and you know, give me a clue whether I actually enjoy it or not. You know. But yeah, this was £1. I thought I'd run with it, give it a go, see what I think. So yeah, the Camouflage, the singles. This came out in 2014. And a Madness album I thought I had, but luckily it ended up that I don't actually own. So I'm glad I brought it, you know, in that case. And that is, of course, Madness Presents The Rise and Fall. And this came out in 1982. Yeah, a bit of an old one. So yeah, an 80s Madness album. Let's have a look at the hits on here. Our House, of course, big hit of theirs. Tomorrow's Just Another Day. I think it's just the 2 hits on here, but there may be more. I'm not recognised. Might not recognise them. So yeah, at least 2 of the hits on here. So yeah, what looks like a pretty good Madness album. Well, going into vinyl, I come across a load of Brian Ferry stuff, and I thought it was relatively cheap, really, considering. Picked up a nice copy of Another Time, Another Place. This was £3. Really nice looking sleeve, you know, very, very good condition. And I thought I'd get that, you know, maybe I'll VCLT it to someone who might want it. So I think I've got another copy of it somewhere. Brian Ferry, Betty Nor, I think it's pronounced. So this album, and this was £5, and this came out in 1987. So there you go. And there's the back. It's all topsy-turvy. One side is that side. The other side is kind of upside down. You have to turn it over the other way. So yeah, that was £5. And also picked up a nice copy of Brian Ferry and Roxy Music. 20 great hits. So it's a nice compilation. I think it's over on 2 discs. 2 LP set. Nice comp, nice condition, and it was £6, so nice little bargain. Virginia Plain on here, Hard Rains, Going Full, Sign of the Times, Dance Away, Angel Eyes, Do the Strand, These Foolish Things, Oh Yeah, Over You, Same Old Scene, Street Life, Let's Stick Together, In the Midnight Hour, and More Than This, all on this compilation for £6. Pretty good. And this is probably one of the nicest finds. Roxy Music, and it is Siren. And great covers, these Roxy albums, aren't they? Really great covers. Iconic. £8, and I thought £8, that's pretty good. Pretty darn good. I think this album could probably go for quite a bit more than that. Came out in 1975. Big hit on here, of course. Love is the Drug. And yeah, what more do you need? I gave it a listen. Sounds good. The record is really clean. You know what? I played it. It works perfectly. And you can buy modern records these days, and they don't work properly. You know, they might skip, and there's scratches, and there's all sorts. Picked up an old 70s album from a charity shop, flawless. So it just goes to show, doesn't it? You know, it's kept in a nice polythene paper sleeve and looked after. So £8, bargain, really. And there you go. That's everything. That's my lot from the charity shop. So till next time, join me again as I probably show some more vinyl. And actually, I got quite a bit to show actually. So stay tuned for that. Probably in the next week or two time, if I'm not doing the vinyl tag within that space. So stay tuned for the next one. More to come. Hope everyone's had a nice Christmas and a happy New Year. So till then, bye for now.